Welcome back everyone to Banishers Ghosts of New World. We have dealt with the beast in the previous part, which was a very underwhelming fight, mainly due to the retarded AI of the creature, but yeah, we've ventured out of the cave, out of that area, whatever it was, and now we see this beautiful sight. It's truly stunning. Really nicely done. Anyway, we have to get down, so let's go.
The scourge troubles me.
It's gone. The curse is lifted.
The curse remains. The beast was born of it. The scourge made in equal measure from the treachery of the Newsmith sisters. Worse, though shaped by Thickskin's betrayal, it was driven by Kate's.
Remember what Charles said. A nightmare is the ghost of one who is terribly wronged.
This nightmare's cold fury goes far beyond the Newsmith sisters. It cursed New Eden as a whole.
I wonder what they did to earn such hate.
It was a very cool decision we had to make in the end after the beast fight. I'm not gonna spoil it if you haven't watched it. But the writing when it comes to decision making is quite nice. It's actually very good. There's a lot of morality based choices that you need to make in these haunting cases. And I'm loving it so far. Story is brilliant. The setting is also quite nice. The game surprised me. Definitely surprised me. I was expecting combat that wouldn't be particularly great, which it isn't. But the other stuff really surprised me in a more positive way than I was expecting. Still don't have an option to... Oh, what?
If wisps didn't come back to bite, I'd almost feel sorry for these ones.
Ah, so we can shoot these things.
Spirit snares do now here.
I believe we should come to terms with the fact that New Eden brims with demonologist craft.
I don't know what soul shards are for, but I'm guessing they are for improving gear. I don't know what they would be for otherwise.
Promises unkept, covenants broken. The curse has its roots in betrayal, treachery that led perhaps to grief.
To forsake your love hurts everyone. Kate is proof of that.
It's rarely so simple. Thickskin is proof of that.
Yeah, sights are beautiful. I'm loving this nature thing and all that. Hey, Tomek.
They never learn, do they? Move it!
There's more of them.
Shit.
Watch out!
It's certainly going well.
Hogging all the fun.
Ah, fuck. It's those bastards from afar. I really dig the rifle usage in combat. It's nothing special. Hey Callum, how's it going, mate? How am I doing? Yeah, half invalid, basically. That's it. So not that great. How have you been doing, mate?
No way through.
So how's the game so far? I really like it. I like it. If combat was better, the game would be great. Even maybe amazing. Maybe even more than amazing. Because the game has a ton of potential. Actually, it doesn't have a ton of potential. It is what it is. Potential is something that you could be. But this game cannot be better than what it is. Because it's not essentially broken in terms of technical... From technical standpoint, it's quite stable. At least on my PC. And... things are as they are. Combat is kind of average to decent at best. Then you have story, which is fantastic. Decision-making system is also fantastic. A lot of moral choices that need to be made. So in terms of that, the game is really something else. Very, very immersive. But we'll see. I'm gonna do the review when the game is done. I have some concerns later on. We'll see how the game works in terms of progression, because there's also systems that are completely irrelevant, like upgrading gear. It doesn't work in a game like this. It's completely irrelevant. It's just a stupid resource gathering that it doesn't add anything to the game. Really doesn't. And things like that. We'll see how it works later on. And if it becomes more significant. But basically the game is like God of War, more or less, with a little bit more focus on decision making. Of course, combat is far worse than God of War. It's not even in the same realm, but I've downloaded Grumble Fantasy Reeling, but I don't know if I'm gonna play it. Don't have the time, and I'm not really interested in it that much, to be honest, especially when you said that it's, again, a JRPG that isn't challenging at all. But we'll see. Maybe I'm gonna play it once, but I don't think it's gonna be before the operation, so I just don't have much interest in Eastern RPGs. They were being fairly disappointing for a long time now. Except something like Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was quite good. But other than that, it's... we had Octopath Traveler, actually. That was fantastic. First and second. But other than those, it's... I don't know. I don't know.
There might be a way to open this door from the other side.
I don't really know Well, actually, we had some indie ones, Sea of Stars, and I didn't play at Sea of Stars, and there was also the Chained Echoes, right? Those were fantastic. So basically, say I'm wrong. AAA JRPGs have gone to shit. That is for sure, but there are still some good ones. Still some good ones left. Alright, cheers, appreciate it. You know what game did combat well? Lost Ark. I've played that game briefly, I haven't done one build for it, which was a tier 1 build. Lost Ark had probably has probably one of the best combat systems, some of the best combat that I've seen in action RPGs. Isometric action RPGs. It kicks the shit out of Diablo and any mediocrity like that, but yeah, it's quite surprisingly good in that department. Hey, Deacon. Welcome back, mate. You didn't miss anything. Chained Echoes, people, that's definitely... I can't recommend that game enough. I can't recommend it enough. It's brilliant. It's so goddamn brilliant. Yeah, well, I gave it 10 out of 10, I think, so... You know, I don't give those numbers out easily. It's incredible. It's really bloody incredible. Find a way to unlock the door. I've heard about Last Epoch, but as I said, currently I'm in a process of waiting for the operation, so I don't want to go into long games that I would have to abandon in the midst of playing. So I'm more sticking to games like these, Banishers and so on, that I know I can beat in about 30-hour span and then do the review. And Last Epoch that's an online game, right? So that doesn't interest me automatically. I just don't want to play online games ever again, unless something drastically changes. Just not for me. Not cheating on a game or anything else. I don't know how it is. So, but as soon as it's online, it doesn't really interest me that much. But yeah, I've seen that Last Epoch is coming out. It's been on my list for some time, but I didn't know it was online-based game. Oh, okay, that's why. There we go. Oh, Lost Epoch is mainly single player. Shit, I did not know that. We'll see, man. As I said, it's all about what's gonna happen. I'm having finally an examination on Friday, so we'll see if the guy gives me some kind of a date.
Do you need a moment to rest?
Are you insinuating I am in some way a mere human?
But yeah, I just can't get into new projects that would require 2 arms, unless they are short-term projects. And Last Epoch does seem like it would be a long-term, and it honestly, action RPGs never did that well on my channel, so. And it would be a huge time investment just to do a review or something. But I don't know. I don't know if he says operation in 2 or 3 months, then yeah, fuck it. Why the hell not? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm in the hands of the best, but you never know. This is a complex thing, so we'll see. It goes how it goes. Fuck it. As long as I can recover. Then onto the other shoulder. That's also fucked up. Loving my life, mate. Loving my life.
She was desolate, and yet relieved and terrified. I can't shake the picture.
According to her journal, Kate had had the courage to love a woman, but betrayed her. She must have meant this Deborah. Whoever this ghost is, her resentments extend beyond the new Smiths. May her wounds heal well.
Sisterhood can be complicated.
You're not big on family.
Mediocre. Mediocre to decent. I'm not still... I haven't decided yet. It's not gonna be good, that much is for sure.
It's like someone got
In the end, when the review comes,
I was very young. I had a friend.
it just can't. It's
She was my
too
chosen sister
rigid.
and very dear to me. I opened my heart. It was a mistake. I played with fire and was burned.
I'm sorry.
It was a long time ago. I have a new family now. I have found the love of my
It's not bad though. Don't get me wrong, people. When I say something is mediocre or decent, it doesn't mean bad. It means you can still enjoy it. That's completely up to you. You might not. Bad things is what... Here's the difference between good, decent, good, mediocre and bad. Bad, rarely someone will enjoy. Mediocre, it's half-half. Some people might not. And good, more people than not will enjoy it. That's basically the difference between those three.
Did you? Show me the bastard.
It's completely up to you.
rest now.
But they can be objectively measured how good some... But combat can be objectively measured how good it is. But people don't... They don't really... Unfortunately, they can't recognize those things. People telling me that Lords of the Fallen has great combat. I mean, I was fucking... If that's great combat, man, then I have snake oil to sell you. It does, Deacon, it does. Considering the games that are fully priced these days, if you want a good story, if you want decent characters, if you want some really good moral decision making, well, not moral decision making, but decision making that's part moral, part selfish, fucking fantastic. Now that's also a very difficult thing to answer. What game is worth what? Very difficult thing to answer. I still don't have a pattern. What would be the exact answer? What would even be an inkling of an answer that would be fair? Because I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, how the hell can we rate how much something costs? What, based on the production values? I mean, some games have amazing production values, but they do go overboard and overpay voice actors and overdo stuff where they don't need to, and they skimp in gameplay part. Yeah, it's really difficult thing to judge. For example, something like Chain Dehos. Why isn't that worth 60 euros, $60? It's gonna give you, what, 40, 50 hours, I don't know how long, of fantastic gameplay, storytelling, world. But because it doesn't look like Call of Duty, it's not worth 60. Why is that the case? I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, because to me, something like Chained Echo is worth a lot more than something like Call of Duty that is based on. To me, online games are not worth even half the price. Honestly, as soon as the game is focused on online, it should be half the price, because they're gonna monetize somehow, and the content is gonna be subpar. That there's not gonna be any meaningful story in most of them. So you have these things that are kinda across the board for online games, that basically most of online games have these problems. They don't have anything behind them than repetition, because they need to in order to in order to have a continuous gameplay with the team and so on, with other players and so on. But yeah, it's a really difficult thing to figure out, right? I prefer the original Lords of the Fallen with unique boss weapons, and in my opinion had more interesting boss design, was fun figure out the hard way to kill them to gain the true weapon. Yeah, but it still had fucked up combat. They didn't, that's the thing that bothers me the most. They didn't upgrade combat at all, and that's, I can't put that aside. They had one job, really one job to fix. One thing to fix. I would be better at rating money value for other people. Me too, mate. Me too. I just don't know what to say about those things. Honestly, unfortunately, it all comes from production value, and looks why I'm quite surprised how Divers is actually has really good graphics, and unfortunately that's where most of the budget is. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I might still do a video about their monetization practices, but we'll see.
Come here. I want to try something.
Good morning to you too.
I think Surge 2 was an upgrade over Surge. In my opinion, the combat was more solid. The world was quite good. Wasn't brilliant, but it was alright.
I think we can break this down together.
Sure, let me grab
Yes, yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah, mate, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Did you feel the way I tore the veil?
Aye, I did.
And we did it together.
What did I do?
You brought me focus. That's plenty.
Can you do?
Because I think Lords of the Fallen, the new one, has really solid mechanics about everything that it does. I love the world of Lords of the Fallen. Loved in the first one, loved it in the second one, loved the art style. It's fantastic. The atmosphere, exactly. But the combat was just its big downside, and they had one job, man. They had one fucking job. It's just a shame when you don't nail combat down. If you don't nail combat down in games, it suffers. So the game suffers so much from it. Even more than if they don't nail story or characters. Because gameplay is what you'll be doing for most of the time. And if the gameplay isn't great, then you can't really say that the game is great. It can have great aspects in terms of writing and characters and all those designs, but if you're 80% of the time is doing the gameplay thing and gameplay is not good or great, then then it just can't. The game can't be great. It can't be considered great. Then it's great. What 20% of the time? It's good. That's fantastic. That it's great even 20% of the time. But
Wasn't I always?
oh, second time this happened. Mate, nothing could, power stances could not save that combat. It wouldn't mean, that's the thing. Power stances, dual wielding, shield bash, every simple thing like that is an addition on top of the basics. Basics are what is the problem with combat of Lords of the Fallen, and for example Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. Basics are not good. And when you don't have the basics good, it's hard to put stuff on it and then expect it to hide or obscure the negative things. It just isn't realistic. Because basics are something that's used. Same like gameplay compared to the story. Basics are used all the time in combat. Like simple movement. You're always moving in combat, right? And how enemies are gonna react to it? Will they use tracking attacks? How and what to what level these tracking attacks will go? If it's too much, then it's really annoying. Usually, especially in a fast-paced games. These are little things like that, but usually the movement part is what devs fall completely on, and they don't because most of them haven't been in a fight in their life, and they don't know what fighting is, and they don't know what are the important things while fighting. If you just look one HEMA, or is it HEMA, that thing where they do the sword fight. Oh, for fuck's sake. What's going on now? This has not happened yet. You can see what's important. It's the movement. That's what's important. Distance management. Those things, they go completely out of the window in a game like Lords of the Fallen and Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. And every weapon felt the same. Yeah, you're right. Yep, you're right. You're right that that's the. I think parry window is also lower, but other than that, it's not very challenging. And honestly, there's no point in playing on very hard, because it just, as you said, besides the parry window, it's damage and HP scaling, which to me is a bad difficulty design. I've explained that many times. Let's hope that this doesn't continue. I'm just gonna skip through this part as much as possible so that it doesn't crash again. Oh god damn, of course there's a chest there.
Firm ground, marshy approaches, like Bannockburn.
This is what the game does well. Look at the site. Look how great this looks. How atmospheric this looks, this stockade. This is what the game does phenomenal. A little bit of mist in the forest, and just enough trees, a bit of water, creepy sight. This is what the game does well. You gotta respect it. It's fucking brilliant. In some of these things, this game is brilliant. Yeah, exactly what you said. Definitely helps me, definitely motivates me to explore. Yeah, man, that would be phenomenal. Hellpoint with Mortal Shell combat. God damn it. Man, Mortal Shell still has some of the best combat. Mortal Shell, Neo, and Sekiro. They have the best combat design in action RPGs. I can't recall any other action RPG. Well, God of War is more of an action adventure, and it has slapped RPG mechanics on top of it. So it's not really an RPG. It's not built to be an RPG. But God of War, probably, if I had to pick the best action, the best combat in third-person games, Neo, God of War, and I don't know. I think Neo and God of War are at the top. And Sekiro. Yeah, Sekiro. I'd have to go with Sekiro. At least that's the games that are off the top of my head. People underestimate God of War's combat. But methodically, that combat is absolutely phenomenal. The little things like movements, the way he dodges things, it makes so much more sense, and it plays out in such a fantastic way that I just can't. It is quite unbelievable how good they did it. Well, they had to pretty much, because we know how fun combat was in the first 3 games, right? Now, how do we get to this point? I'm trying to get to this chest, but I don't see a way. See, that's the problem with God of War. God of War has terrible difficulty design. The game has quite glaring weaknesses. I think it's still 10 out of 10 game for what it wants to be, but it has glaring weaknesses, and difficulty design is definitely one of it. It's quite poor in that department. Not when it comes to AI and all that. It's good when it comes to AI and things like that. But when it comes to pure difficulty design, meaning what are the differences between difficulty levels, that's where the game falls flat. It's just not fun playing on hard difficulties, that game. It's not challenging you in a proper way that you would enjoy beating it. I just got annoyed by being killed with Kratos, a fucking God of War. The goddamn god killing other gods in 2 hits by a fucking pansy-ass midget with an axe, right? It's just ridiculous. That's not what a difficulty design should be, ever. But it seems to be the norm these days, and I'm not happy because of it. Yeah, I don't know how to reach that thing. I got no fucking clue. Maybe if we shoot that tree. No, that's just... I think the original God of War also had the same problem, meaning that it was, but I might be wrong. I might be remembering it wrong. Do correct me, please, if I'm wrong. That it also had health and damage increase, and that's about it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Shite, do your new thing now! Away with you!
you'd have to die first.
I have a different memory of that. That was also infuriating in a very similar way, but I might be wrong. It was a long time ago since I played the original trilogy. I loved them though. I still think that one of the best scenes in gaming history is the start of God of War 3 when you're climbing on Mount Olympus on Gaia's back. I think that's one of the best scenes ever. That shit was so sick. And it's gonna stay in my memory that thing is gonna stay in my memory, that scene, forever and ever. It's gonna be one of my favorite scenes of all time in games, as long as I live. It's just that bloody good. Alright, then you have more recent memory of that, and I believe you when you say that it's not as bad as the new ones. You've played it recently, as you've said, and that makes your statement far more relevant than mine, because I really haven't played it in a long time. See, for example, what this game does right, it doesn't put fight into every new transition. After every obstacle that you traverse, there isn't a fight all the time. I mean, yeah, it frequently is, but it's not every single time. I think the game really does that well. The pacing of it, right? That's how it's called. Oh, shit.
The dead are fitful and angry. Something hinders them, something bitter.
You can enjoy the scenery, which is the same as God of War. That's why I'm comparing this game to God of War. It definitely drew inspiration from new God of War, which is a good thing to aspire to, right? Let's be honest about it. It's not a problem if you do your own thing. You can copy paste things. That's all right. Most games copy paste things. It's how it is. It's not great, but look, as long as you do it in a unique way so it doesn't appear as copy pasted, it's fine. Do your own thing. Do your own version of something that is successful and that seems to be a good basis to build upon. I don't mind that. Honestly, I don't think more aerial movement would do the game very well because of the camera structure and because of the weight structure. The game is far more weighty in combat than the originals, and I don't think I think they've done aerial thing fantastic in the new one because
Tread carefully.
it's a very weighty combat. So him going around in the air wouldn't really feel that well, in my opinion. While the first one while the first trilogy did not have that weighty feel, such a weighty feel beneath every punch, behind every punch, like the new one. So I really don't think that aerial combat is the solution for God of War. I don't think it needs to have any solutions at this point. Or anything additionally added, because the way he dodges is actually quite good. It's more realistic the way he dodges. It might be more difficult to use it, but I think it's because of the realism of combat. I mean, realism, that's not really realistic, but they are trying to do that to have more realistic feel to combat. I think they've done it perfectly. The way he does a simple dodge with the shoulder, with the shoulder roll and going to the side with a simple step. That's actually how you would do it in a real life. That's how you go to the side. That's how you do lateral movements. So those simple things is what makes the combat feel far more realistic than most other games out there. So yeah, I don't think aerial combat would be a good thing to add. I think it is done fantastic as it is, because everything else would be a little bit over the top. But the way you switch and manage between throwing stuff and attacking and defending, I think is brilliant. The quiet part's gonna help this game. Yeah. Devil May Cry has a very weighty attacks. Not as God of War. Because in new God of War, the simple camera perspective and the movements during the combat were not jumpy. When you see, for example, how Dante dodges in Devil May Cry, it's automatic. Everything he does is quite jumpy in a way that even the simple.
No,
Wait.
still can't see a damn thing.
Even the simple dodge. When you use the simple dodge, it covers a lot of distance. So everything you do with Dante, and then the distance covering with the sword, everything is extended. And when you do such combat, then everything needs to be extended. Everything needs to be flowing. There needs to be a lot more movement-based movement and distance covering during combat. But when you do something like new God of War, when there's such a weight to everything that you do, when movements are far more realistic than they are in most other games that I played, then you can't really go, unless it's some kind of a jumping attack, but then you can't really add too much air battles and too much jumping in the air. Well, yeah, you're right, in the cutscenes they fucked it up. But in normal combat that you're doing, it wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel right. It might be great, don't get me wrong, it might be done in a fantastic way, but it wouldn't feel right. Because simply the camera structure and the movements that Kratos is doing with each step would have far different feel than to what he would do in the air, and how big of a distances he would traverse with each movement that he's doing. In Devil May Cry, everything is emphasized. Dodge, attack, jump, everything is emphasized. But with the current structure, it wouldn't work in God of War. I think God of War has probably the closest to perfect combat for the camera point of view, because of the movements. Even Neo didn't nail movements that well. And Neo is one of the best when it comes to combat. Yeah, I prefer a more realistic combat because it's far more difficult to design. It needs to be, there are far more smaller intricacies to creating realistic combat than to creating more of a video game based combat. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing realistic. This is also video game based combat, but movements is what sells combat for me.
What was that?
This is, for example, this is shit. Look at this.
Something's here.
This is shit. This is terrible movement. Terrible. This is terrible. Almost instant animations, and then going through, covering without steps, covering distance without steps. Don't get me wrong. In every game there's that, but in some there's less, in some there's more. I love God of War original combat. I absolutely love it, especially because of the brutality. But honestly, when it comes down to what's more quality combat, I would always say that the new God of War has far better combat in terms of quality and in terms of the design. It's far more difficult to design that type of combat and to make it punchy, to make it impactful, to make movements so important than what they did in the original. That's why there isn't a single game that has combat like God of War currently, but there are many games that use the combat used in older God of Wars. Nothing against it, it's fantastic, but it just isn't on the same level as the new one. Now you can like whatever you like. That's subjective. That's simply personal preference, nothing more. But we need to really examine this more deeply. And when you start to understand how methodical the new combat is, how precise it is in what it wants to do in the movements, especially in the movements of enemies, and how long you have till the enemy covers the distance until you can throw an axe and combine it with ranged and melee attacks with simple dodges. It's fucking brilliant, man. It's fucking brilliant how they created it. But as I said, if you've never been in a fight, you don't know the importance of distance managing and movements. And unfortunately, this type of a game is a direct consequence of it. Then again, as I said, there's a lot of HEMA videos out there where you see how proper swordsmanship looks like. But rarely someone uses that. You know what game did phenomenal combat movement-wise? For Honor. For Honor did amazing when it comes to movement. I've played Lies of P demo, but combat was alright. I wasn't too impressed with it. It was better than Steel Rising, and better than what it was. There was another game coming out that I've covered during that time, but I forgot what it is. God damn it, I don't know how to open this. I don't think we have the way to do it just yet. What was the Souls game? Ah, yeah, Lords of the Fallen. Yeah, that was the one. But yeah, I might have covered. I should have covered Lies of P, because I've gave up on Lords of the Fallen because of the combat. Yeah, I know it doesn't do it justice, but in terms of movement and things like that, what I see, it was a decent combat. Don't get me wrong, maybe even good, as far as I remember. I enjoyed it, but as I said, that's a subjective thing. I did enjoy it, which is not something I can say for many Lord of the Rings Souls-like games. And it definitely felt better than many other games out there. And I think they weren't using too many tracking attacks, if I recall correctly, which is definitely positive, because I fucking hate tracking attacks. Because tracking attacks are the opposite of, or maybe not the opposite, how would I put it? Is the anti-movement thing, because if you do the attacks and they are tracking, then what's the point of movement? They're just gonna track you down. That's why I can't stand the fucking things. Wait, what did you say? Now I need to know what kind of ritual I'm supposed to perform here. Let me save the game, because I wasn't reading. You gotta know what type of ritual it is to perform. So you're saying that AI is quite good. That's good. I love that. Spectral Malevolence. More perfect most. Oh, it's challenge. It's challenge.
Reveal your true self.
I love that we are playing a Scotsman. More perfect switch, post parry, post run, and post dodge attack damage.
Spectre, going for a meat suit.
Ah! Got caught. Oh wow, they can dodge.
You'll get it next time.
So this is a specific challenge where I'm only doing proper damage if I'm dodging and things like that. Parrying and so on. Otherwise I'm doing minimal damage.
Damn it. Look to me.
I don't know what this, when I'm glowing red, what it is. And I don't have a perfect switch move, I haven't unlocked it. Actually I do have it unlocked, but I'm not using that thing. Because I think I'm using something that I think is better. Maybe not for this instance. Thankfully you can switch between those whenever you want.
Have some of this.
Fuck! Ah, shit. Ah, come on, that's an automatic dodge for fuck's sake. Ah, fuck off. Ah, boring challenge. No. There's a little bit more impact than it shows probably through the screen. A little bit more weight to it, but then again, it's the problem of movement. Upper body, I mean torso, arms and all that, it has decent weight to it. It actually is quite good in terms of that, but there's lack of combos. There's only one combo that you can do. And the problem is, while the upper body is done well, the lower body is done quite bad. As you can see, it's too rigid. There's lack of movement in between movements, which is always a bad thing, right? And not many developers know how to do that right.
Watch out. Spectre possession.
Spectre what? Come on, don't get stuck. Fuck.
Away with you.
Fuck. How did I miss that?
Look to me.
Oh, god damn it.
Die, you bastard.
There's a tough one.
There's more of them.
More? What?
Don't let that specter get to the corpse.
What a pain in the ass. Fucking challenge.
When of corpses this hearty?
Ah, we have the goddamn tormented. Shit.
Hogging all the fun.
Okay, this is a challenging challenge, at least not very hard. Ah, for fuck's sake! What an annoying challenge.
Die, you bastard.
And these stupid pirouettes in games, why? Just do a fucking poke. I mean, I know it's for the effect, but this is not a movie. Just do simple moves. You don't need to go overboard. That's what people love about From Software's combat, for example. Simple movesets. You don't need to do some kind of a flashy bullshit. It just needs to have a decent impact. It needs to have... The fight needs to be a proper dance. In a way that it looks like a fight. There can be dancing. Some people are more agile. It's fine. That's why you have enemy diversity. But there's no need for these stupid pirouettes and things like. Why are they doing that? Like Witcher, for example. Even though I love Witcher, they went overboard with the pirouettes and things. But then again, the movement was solid in that game as far as I remember. Witcher 3, I mean. As far as I remember, but maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I think the combat was solid. It wasn't fantastic, but it was solid
I felt
for
it.
what it wanted to be. I'm moving around this area for some time now without any sort of progression, because I got no fucking clue where I should be going. Maybe I should look at the map, right? Maybe stop being an idiot and look at the goddamn map. Ritual site completed. Yeah, we gotta make our way to New Eden. Holy shit, that's a long fucking way away. So there's a new hunting case available. Oh, is it? People, maybe we should go and search for some more hunting cases. So that's our exploration.
It's like crows.
Winged carrion eaters. They always
Alright, we'll see.
Maybe
We'll see.
Just follow it.
Maybe it's interesting.
interesting.
So far, pardon me, it's not hunting cases, it's haunting cases have been really good. Hey, Will, how's it going, mate? Live-wise, as you've seen probably in the community post, that's basically it where I've been. I've been in the gutters, mate, with health and so on. But yeah, basically what I said there, so I don't need to repeat myself, is the latest community post. But just waiting for big info. How have you been, mate? Hopefully better than me. But I'm in a good headspace for a long time now, which is the most important thing. So there's at least that, right? Kind of figured out life a little bit more. What's required to be happy, or at least content, if nothing else, which was something challenging to do, but it paid off. Well, basically I answered that, how are things, but yeah, what I've said, mate. Yep, it's important. For example, when I got in a bad head state, that's when my illness started progressing. That's when the shoulder issues began to happen. Before that, I barely had any, considering that it's a very serious and devastating disease. I got barely any problems before that. For 10 years. But then suddenly when you're weak in the head, it just escalated so quickly, it's ridiculous. Money good? Nah, money is worse than ever. But nah, not worse than ever, but look, it's not important. I don't give a shit about money anymore. I can live off of small income. I'm a modest person, always was, so I don't really require much. I got a good girl for 2 years now, which is fantastic. She's phenomenal. Probably the only one I can be with. And that I said is the last one that I'm gonna be with, definitely. And yeah, mate, basically in a good headspace regarding stuff. I know my issues. I know I can pretty much see where this shit is going, where this ship is going, or shit, pretty much the same thing. So at least I accept these things. You know, when you accept things, it's easier to start dealing with it. But yeah, it's not gonna be. It wasn't any. It was far from an easy life up until now. But it's gonna be even worse, much worse. But yeah, that's how the cards have fallen, I guess, for me. But then again, look, I'm now switching the way I'm working on YouTube. I'm not gonna push myself anymore like a mental case. It's just not worth it. For what, 500 views per video? Fuck that shit. I'm not doing that. Eventually, there's gonna be some games that are gonna be covered completely through guides, but I'm not gonna focus on that solely anymore. It's just too time consuming and usually not worth it. So I'm just trying to make the life as simple as possible and to be as happy as possible without I'm not worrying about finances at all. I got nothing, basically. I got 1,000 euros on my bank account. That's it. That's it. That's all that I have in my life at the moment when it comes to money. But I have a house that I don't have to pay rent, which is a big thing. Thankfully, you know, my girl helps with things as well. She's got to work. She is working and all that. So it's not that big of a deal for me, money at the moment. It's not a focus of my life. The focus is health, and it's gonna be for a long time. And I'm completely lost again. So basically, those were the things I figured out in my life. How to stop being stressed about things. Things will change. Everything in life changes. It's just the way it is. Just to let things go.
You better take the lead.
My thoughts exactly.
Which is a skill in itself. But yeah. That's about it, in short. Well, fuck, it wasn't short, but you guys can always ask me about things. If I can help someone with things I've been through and all that, and I'm going to get through, and how I am dealing with it, and if it can help anyone, that's great. That's great, because I really think I can help people with a little bit of life coaching in terms of what to look for and what to focus on and what to not focus on. Because I've done every mistake in the book. So sometimes you don't have to learn on your own mistakes, right? Sometimes it's easier to listen. Tw 2024 ain't looking good for games, unfortunately. How do you know, mate? You can't know how good the games are until they are released. Some games might surprise you. I never judge anything before it happens in terms of how good it's going to be. I can judge things that are there, that are visible, that are feasible, and that have some rationality behind it. But saying that the whole 2024 will be bad, why?
The dead are many.
And things that don't interest you might start you might start having interest towards them later on when you see how good the games are, or having less interest when you see how bad the games are. But never judge anything up front. That's just assumption, and you know what they think about opinions, what they say about opinions, what they are like, right? Yeah, but GTA 6 and Witcher 4, alright, they are coming out. I didn't even know that Witcher 4 comes out next year. I don't care. I honestly do not care until they are released. And then if I see that they are worth something, I might give them the time of day. Well, Witcher 4 should be covered on the channel. Yeah, that definitely should. Doesn't have to be a big game to be a successful year. DEI and ESG stuff. I don't know what either of those things mean. What are those abbreviations for? Stalker was never really much of an interest for me. I love Metro games. Metro games were really good for me because of the storytelling and atmosphere and all that. It was quite fucking phenomenally done. I didn't play Exodus, but played the first two. Stealth was terribly done though. Stealth was shit. It disappointed me a lot that they couldn't do stealth properly. But other than that, phenomenal games. Phenomenal games.
I feel a draft.
From the invisible.
Ah, Vogue. Can you tell what these abbreviations are for?
Do you mind?
Of course not.
I don't know what really ESG and D. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was a phenomenal experience as long as you don't focus on stealth, because stealth was trash. And in such a game, they could have done stealth a lot better, and it wouldn't be that difficult. Environment and social governance. And what is DEI? Jesus fucking Christ, that word, environment and social governance, makes me roll my eyes immediately. And I am hearing first time that phrase. This game, for example, has a little bit of wokeness in it, but it's not bad. It's not bad because writing is so damn good that you'd gloss over it. But it isn't bad. Even if objectively looking, it isn't bad. It isn't constantly in your face or anything like that. It's just it occasionally goes through that, you know, kind of feminist agenda. Women need to be strong and hard and things like that. It is what it is. So they have an agency called Diversity, Equity and Inclusion. Are you fucking shitting me, man? Yeah, you're right, John. Banks and political parties, yeah. I understand. I try to stay clear from it as much as I can. I really don't want to get too much into those. Although I will do a lot of topic videos from here on out. Because of the arms situation and all that, but I'm gonna have to. But I don't think I'm gonna go too much into woke stuff. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Do you see what politics do? They make things like that relevant.
I can see. I should take over.
It's frustrating as hell that See how they didn't say equality, because that's not equal. That's actually anti-equality. But they don't know that, right? They need to go with their brainwashing fucking propaganda that is destroying kids and destroying. I'm not gonna get into that. But I know why they are doing it. It's a process. It's a process that's been going on for some time. It's all for one purpose. And it's a fucking devastating one. It's a vicious circle of things that in the end leads to the ruling elite ruling at even higher power than before. It having no goddamn resistance at all, but having people who are unstable to even live their own lives. But yeah, as I said, let's not get into that because I'm gonna get banned from every goddamn platform that there is. And as you've said, and as you've heard my bank statement, it's not a good situation, so I can't afford that at the moment. But yeah, I got plenty of things to say about these things. But it's all planned. It's all planned. None of these things are accidental. And that's what even more worrisome. This is a shortcut, I think.
These remains call for a ritual and a lot of caution.
Oppressed. We were all oppressed. I mean, I'm basically... Slavic people were probably more oppressed than any other people ever in the fucking... Well, not maybe out of all things, but I mean... We literally have slaves in our names as Slavic. That's how Slav means a slave. So yeah, let's talk about oppressed people. I mean, where are my fucking rights then? Where's my goddamn check? It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't have to do anything with America. They have their own thing, but in Europe, it was a significant thing for a long time. So, what are we talking about here? Do we really want to go down that road? If we go down that road of the oppressed, everyone was oppressed. Everyone. It was always about rich and poor, not about fucking race. It never was about race. Things that were done based on race were rarely happened. Let's just say like that before I go into other things. It did happen, but not as much as people thought. Each attack increases damage, resets on being hit. Yeah, this is ridiculous what you guys are saying. Not that you are saying anything wrong, but the way things work. No gaming companies literally can't borrow money unless they pass their ESG score test. The gatekeepers need to change a lot of things, but that is like saying I should learn to walk on water. Yeah. No, it's actually, it's not their ignorance. They know what they are doing. That's the scary thing. If you just put ignorant people that don't know anything about anything, they usually get to be some kind of a spokesperson, but they are not the ones making decisions, right? So it's all enwebbed. It's an enwebbed system that goes way deeper. DEI demands 50% of characters in games and employees in companies to be from minority oppressed backgrounds. I mean, that's just, to me, fucking hell, man. That's yeah, I really fucking can't stand this world, man. I love you, most of you bastards and all that, and the community that's on the channel, and I stick to my family and some of the friends. And not some. I love my friends because they're really smart people and all that. But goddamn, man, if I want to associate with anyone else, it's just It just let me be. I just let me be. If you wanna be retarded, it's fine, but don't drag me down to your level. And then when you see that it's not working, then call me east of whatever. Yeah, just fucking ridiculous. We've made a full circle. We've come back to witch hunts, to fucking medieval period of understanding the society. That's where we've come. That's where what we have come to. We are going backwards. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It's because of all because of these political parties. As I always say, that it's a cult. Yeah, you're right. The problem is the people, no trans people, no whatever, they are not the problem. The problem is the community. That's the political party that is very influential, and they need to remain influential in order to remain significant. And that's why they're creating problems everywhere. That's why a lot of actually LGBT people are against the community itself, because the community is just a political party that wants power and money. They don't give a shit about them. They don't give a shit about their own people. I mean, it is what it is. Some maybe do, but mostly they don't. It's just a political movement. Same like feminism. And what do we have next to it? I don't know what else is there. But I'm on this. Look, think of the same of religion too. Religious communities are also fucking mental at times. Well, in a lot of cases, especially if they are tight communities. They can't think outside of the box for a fucking millisecond. They then judge people based on stupid shit. As one philosopher said, you can never be truly free if you're part of anything. That's the ultimate truth. The church invented the devil to stay relevant. I mean, if he isn't real, who else isn't? Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, I don't have anything against people that are good. I don't give a shit who you fuck, who you believe in, if you're individually a person that actually cares about others and what good stuff to happen. Not a good stuff to happen to people that you read about in the newspapers. I don't give a shit about that. But people around you that matter to you, that care about you. If you do these things, I don't give a flying fuck what you do. And no one else should. No one else should judge you based on anything. Even if you're woke, if you're rightist, if you're leftist, I don't give a shit what you are. If you're good, period. You know what that means. That means helping others without wanting anything back. That's what it means. If someone gives you something back, good, that's fine. That's their way of wanting to thank you and all that. That's fine, but it shouldn't be the reason behind it. Reason behind helping, just fucking help people, because government is not going to help most people. They are there to help themselves. And that's the ultimate truth. They don't give a shit about us in most countries, and that's why we need to help each other. And these things, these political parties, especially the new ones, with the, by that I mean the LGBTs, the feminism, the leftists, the rightists. Oh, for fuck's sake. Half a health, really. They are designed today to do the opposite of what I just said, what we should be doing. They are there to put people to make people look at themselves through crosshairs. Just because of some of the things that they believe or what they do in life, which isn't fair. That isn't fair. We all have opinions. We all have things that define us a little bit more than the others. It's not. It doesn't matter what fucking color, what fucking creed, where you put your dick in. Who gives a shit? But if you start to be political about it, then you're making a mistake. Then you're trying to make everyone like you, and that's forcing things. And that's a bad thing, because then we go into realm of the fascism and totalitarianism, and I don't want to get into that, but it's a complex thing to go. Shit, I'm still gonna get banned from. see the problem, see the fucking problem. What I'm talking. As soon as I say something, I'm always afraid I'm gonna get banned. Is that good? That's not good, people. That's called totalitarianism. that's called totalitarianism. You can't say things. It's scary when you think about it. Foxy, did Sweet Baby work on this? They have their shit in every game lately. I have this on my rental list. I don't know who is Sweet Baby, but this is a good game so far that I'm playing. There's gonna be a review when I beat it eventually, but it should be in a couple of days. Hoping. I'll also stream tonight as well. Gotta push this through as fast as possible. Exactly. Judge on your actions. But actions are not looking at through newspaper and see a kid died somewhere and then, oh, that's not being good. That's being nothing. That's just fucking scoring cheap emotional points with people around you. It means fuck all, man. Look it up, mate. Be worried about them. What are they, mate? Can you give me a brief explanation? But they're free range. Oh, that's a good one. Sensitivity writers. What? What's that shit? Oh my god, man. That shit exists. Oh, bloody hell, man.
Present yourself.
We need to bring back bullying, because this is getting ridiculous. Fucking sensitivity writing. What the hell is that? It really made me cry from laughing. It's not a joke, though. S-Squad. Suicide Squad and Spider-Man 2. Is Spider-Man 2 any good? I love Spider-Man 1. The first one on PlayStation 4 that they released. See how people are trying to push back against these things. You guys are constantly saying about to watch for this, to watch for that. And I appreciate it, because you are you're trying to teach me about things, and I love that. Always try to do that. I will always appreciate knowledge being shared, because I don't know a lot of things. I know very little actually, but when you guys do these things, when you post, it really gets me thinking, you know, and I gotta be aware of what's happening more, because it is my job also, since it's based around gaming, right? Things are gonna be in the games that I'm making, and it's just diversity, equity, and inclusion. I just can't believe that there's such a thing exists, man. I just fucking can't believe it.
Standing by.
What?
toll on me.
Ah, for fuck's sake!
Standing by.
Is it done? Ah, thank you. I also just want good original stories. We just want simple things, for fuck's sake. I mean, there can be. No one says that there can't be any woke games around. It's fine. If that's an interest of some people, it's alright. Give them an option. But not included in everything. But as I said, it's part of a bigger plan. And I really don't want to, to talk about that. But it's all part of a bigger plan. A far scarier plan that goes way beyond gaming. And unfortunately, they are succeeding. Even though, as I said, money-wise, that's how you vote against these things. That's your vote, because you can hurt these behind-the-scenes players that are pulling the strings. You can hurt them with the money. But it needs to be a majority effort, not a minority effort. So... Hey, Seru. I wouldn't say that combat is dog. I think combat is average to even decent, but nothing better than that. It's not good. However, writing is fantastic. Morality-based decision-making is phenomenal. They are really good writers, these guys. I just wish they would hire someone when it comes to the combat to make it better, but these guys really know how to make immersive world, and the game looks beautiful as well. How to make an immersive world, how to make immersive characters, how to create really good stories. They are really good at that. I really have to commend them in that department a lot. Combat is not bad, as I said, but it's not good either, basically. Oh, here we go. What's there?
I like this.
Sure you do.
No, this. Being with you.
I like it too.
Exactly. People act like what someone said. 1 second, let me just read the comments. A lot of comments. I like that. This is why I play more indies. Most of them don't give a fuck about that. They just want to make a game that is fun to play, something missing in today's industry. Yeah, right. You are absolutely right. OG Lara is great. I'm gonna get back to that because that's an important part of what I wanted to say. I can't learn animation, mate. I barely have time with these things. But yeah, I would have some really good ideas for games. Oh, I think Witcher had good combat. I don't think Witcher had bad combat. I think Witcher had good combat, but not great or amazing or something. But yeah, Witcher has better combat than this, at least in my opinion. Thanks, we'll appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. Don't. Just for views, I don't care about that, people. I appreciate it, but I don't care. I always like organic viewers and organic likes and organic comments and all, or the organic dislikes. Everything is fine as long as it's organic. You guys know that I don't chase views and I don't care about the algorithm. I don't want to play that game. It's just something that I don't want to even think about. And I never want to put viewers into a position that they would have to suffer also because of my obsession with the algorithm or something like that. That's why I never also had these, well, maybe I did 4 or 5 years ago. I never had these unskippable ads as well because I didn't want to annoy the viewers. Why? Or never asked for likes, subscriptions. Why? It's just annoyance, for fuck's sake. It's begging. If you're worth it, people are gonna stay. People are gonna watch. Simple as that.
Spectre possession.
So yeah, please don't. For the sake of the viewers or views on this stream, don't leave your machine on. I appreciate the thought, mate. I really do, but I'm just glad that you joined the stream and that we had a little bit of a talk. That to me is far more important than any fucking algorithm or view or whatever. Money is not. As long as I have enough to live, it's fine. Money is not important. I had money 10 years ago. Did not make me happy. I was happy because of other things. Sometimes it helps more, sometimes it helps less. It's an ever-changing thing. Cheers, Dermia. So about Lara, someone mentioned Lara and the previous heroines, female heroes, right? If you guys remember the movies before, they say the feminists are trying to say that there were no real female heroes. And then when you look how wrong they are. Sarah Connor, for one. Phenomenally written character in my opinion. Ripley. You know, battling fucking aliens.
Red, there is something.
And then they're trying to tell you that there weren't women, strong women in entertainment before. Which is horseshit.
But I can hear its
That's not true.
like a curse.
That's not simply not true.
Curse or a spell, eh? Maybe Seeker could help us with this.
But they have their own version of strong. And they say it's not that type of strong. So that means it isn't strong at all. No, mate, no, fuck, no, I don't want to get into politics, no. No. I despise politics. I despise politics of all sorts. Politics, you know what politics, if you would translate politics in one word, it's lies. Lies. And I fucking I despise it because the only purpose of politics is to create problems, not to create solutions. And to divide people. I fucking hate it. I despise all sides. It's just... I do have opinion about things which sometimes resonates more with one side and then another opinion that resonates more with another side. But that's the problem. See the issue? What they have done? They have pushed the boundaries so far. They have been claiming over the years every topic for themselves. So as soon as someone mentions something that has been claimed by a certain party, it's automatically reassigning your identity towards that political party. So you are automatically looked upon as part of that tribe or part of the political party or part of that community just because you've even mentioned something. And if your opinion aligns with anything that they are doing today, you're automatically put in that. I'm not a part of anything. I'm me. I'm firstly me. And that's it. I don't give a shit about... I don't vote because it's stupid. It serves no fucking purpose. Maybe in some countries it does. Here it doesn't. In Croatia. And it doesn't make it doesn't make any difference. It's just a show for the morons here that think that they would be the ones that they could influence the future of the fucking country. Yeah, sure. You're drinking the fucking beer in front of the store for 5 days, for a couple of hours every day of the week. Yeah, you're gonna be deciding the future. Sure, you will. But anyway, that's the problem. They have been claiming these topics over the years, and when they are claiming the topics, you don't have anything anymore that you can say that's not political. See the issue? Everything I say, every little thing I say today can be associated towards something regarding politics. That wasn't the case before, but they have pushed the boundaries so far because they need to recruit more members to their ranks. Because that's how they stay significant. Because it's all about members and power that is gained through the members. And that they are creating mob mentality, which is a bad thing. That's why I'm saying we are going back to witch hunts. If someone says something, automatically attack them just because they have said something and it emotionally touched you. It's a fucking devastating thing when you think about it, how deep that was. How the hell did we get back to that place? But we did. It's terrible. I fucking hate it. It depresses me, honestly. It fucking depresses me that people are today living the lives like the political parties are letting them live, like they want them to live, just because they can control them emotionally. That fucking pisses me the hell off, man. It pisses me the hell off that now my parents of my age and younger parents are under the influence of that, and they are teaching their kids that shit, and not actually true values that would make the world a better place. Because you can't be, it's almost impossible to be apolitical today. Everything you say, everything you do might be considered a political move, and it isn't. I really don't give a shit about any side. I think they all suck. All. But anyway, that's why I don't want to talk about, even though I do talk about mainly when it comes to gaming. I don't like it. I fucking hate it, to be honest. I hate it that that's even a topic of discussion on these streams. I mean, I'm glad that we can discuss these things openly, because I learn from you bastards as well. But I'm sad that it's becoming such a prevalent thing in the today's society, that people have the need to even have some kind of a safe haven where they can just go and talk about and maybe vent their frustrations, which I always hope that you are free to do, that you feel free to do on my streams, because I really want this to be free speech as much as possible.
Something's nearby.
So
Where is it?
I'm glad that some people find at least that part in their lives where they can go to and just talk, be themselves, and that they will meet understanding and not immediate attacks or judgments or whatever. We can have discussions, we can have good discussions, we can disagree all the time. It's all fine, doesn't matter. But as long as you feel here that you are being treated correctly, it's all that I can do from my side.
Local tribes.
What the invaders left of them.
There you go, Alice, Jill, and Claire, you're right. Yeah, I've seen some Russell Brand, yeah. He's a smart guy. Politics in the entertainment division of the military industrial complex. Frank Zappa. Politics is the entertainment division of the military industrial complex. Yeah, it pisses me off so much that you can't really tell what people think now, as people are scared to say anything in the UK. A woman got nearly jailed as she shouted at her naughty child. What? Fuck me, man. You can't... that's another thing that you can go for. Nanny state against free state. It's another topic of fucking discussion that... man, it's just frustrating. When I hear these things, it just frustrates me to hell and back. I mean, I understand that you guys in the chat are not the majority. Meaning the majority of people that are unaware of things. Same like my friends. Some are more aware, some are less aware of things, but I just wish everyone was like that. You can have your own things, but at least think. At least fucking think. Are the ghost sections in this like medium or like murder soul suspect? I did not play any of those two games, mate, so I don't know what to tell you there. But thanks for changing the subject. Yeah, I don't want to have kids too. I mainly don't want to have kids because of my health situation and all the diseases that run rampant in my family. It's just too devastating. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I brought a child that has so much bad potential in terms of health. And also because I don't know for how long I will be able to care for it due to my own problems. And another thing is that I'd probably end up in jail, honestly. I'll probably end up in jail because of these stupid things that we were just discussing about. I mean, I'm very calm most of the time, but when someone makes a fool out of me or tries to make a fool out of me, then it's a completely different story. And I am respectful towards people and polite, but I'm direct. I'm fair more than anything. But goddamn, I wouldn't be able to keep it together. All right, I think we've finally explored all of this and we can proceed. I'm hoping. Jesus Christ, where the hell do I need to go? This game is... I've been at this small area for an hour now. I'm sorry to hear that, Foxy. I don't know what is Latham, but I'm sorry to hear that. My ex was also infertile, so... But she wanted to have kids later on. She kind of changed, but she couldn't. I don't know at what stage she is now. That's her thing. I don't care about that anymore, but yeah, I just don't want. Thankfully, I have a girl that works in the school system. Works with bad kids, let's call it like that. Kids with issues and so on. So she doesn't want. She deals with kids who every day. So I'm thankful that she wants a different life outside of that, right? But that was always a thing for me. That I had to learn about myself, that I really am not for that. And it's fine, you don't have to. For some it might make life better, for some it might make life worse, you never know. Alright, so what the hell do we do here? What did they say? I missed it. Can we go below there? Have you guys noticed that something here? Because they were saying something that about the door. But I was, of course, babbling bullshit, so I got no clue. Huh. Yeah, I can't do anything here, it seems. Find the way into the fort. So that is the key, but oh, what? Ah, there it is. All right, bloody hell. That was a difficult one to spot. Pure accidental. Reprimanding a child is a different story in its own. Depends on the child. Depends on the situation. Depends on the parent. What kind of a situation child puts the parent in. But yeah, usually aggression is not gonna lead to good results. But then again, it's very individual. The kids that my girl works with, I mean, some you would need to beat the shit out of because they literally attack parents, right? So, And then you have a single mom that can't do a goddamn thing against those fucking animals. What else is there?
If you need a rest,
Then
this
she
place
gets
is
to the
as good as
point
any.
where she can't defend herself. It's a scary fucking shit, man. And that's only a kid that's in a 6th grade or 7th grade.
This is locked from the inside.
That's why fathers are important. One of the reasons why fathers are important, but not many are are good, right? It's just the way it is. It's all on individual basis. Getting vibes from the Shadow game where you can change between realms or something. It was an isometric game. It had that purple color, right? And it had two characters. I think both female, if I'm not mistaken. Ah, shit! I think I covered it on the channel. It was a decent game. It was actually a good game. Fuck, what was the name of it? Ah, damn, my memory is so bad. I started to drink omega-3 acids to fix my memory a little bit. Shadow's Awakening. No, not that. Hey, Hefa. Welcome, mate. Oh, it is Shadow's Awakening. Oh, I thought I was thinking about something else. Oh, wait, that's not switching realms. They were just switching characters in between. Shadow's Awakening. Wait, let me Google that. Shadow's Awakening. Is that an action RPG? Like Diablo, something like that? Or was that something else? Ah, sorry about the fever, mate. But sometimes it's good working from home, right? Shadow's Awakening. Yeah, I think... Oh, wait, what is this game? Did I play this? It is a Diablo type game, right? Yes, Bastion. Something like that. Yeah, you're right. That was the one I was thinking of. Yeah, Shadow's Awakening. I played the demo for it, or early access. There was something, and it was good. It's good, but wasn't that good at that time. I think it got better later on. Now I don't know how many of these materials we got. I did like it for what it was at that time, but it wasn't really polished or anything like that. It was quite bare bones at the time. But it might be something to eventually try.
Doors blocked on the other side.
There we go. Fort has been opened. Shortcut open. Sorry it took me so long. I was babbling a lot. Hopefully I wasn't boring you too much. Some people don't like to hear these things and they just want the gaming, and I completely understand you. But I'm very weak when it comes to preaching. When someone gives me a chance to preach, I'm gonna take it. So yeah, I apologize for that, but that's a problem I have in life as well. When I talk to my sisters and someone is, oh, here he goes again. Always the same shit.
This isn't over yet. Don't just stand there. Move. I'm still.
Oh shit. Suddenly every fool and their... Oh yeah, they have a automatic dodging. That's not good, I don't like that.
Take that to your face.
You know what, when you get used to this combat, it kind of becomes a little bit better because it's dynamic, even though it's quite rigid, it has some dynamic to it. But it's still not good. Damn, if this developer had some kind of couple of brainiacs in the team that would be able to really do something about combat, they would be able to create amazing and masterpieceful games, in my opinion. They really have a lot of potential, but same like Piranha Bytes to an extent, but they have such bad combat that honestly the only combat I've seen that I could put on their level is Assassin's Creed Origins combat, which is some of the worst I've seen yet, how bad it is. But then again, I couldn't lower Assassin's Creed Origins down to that level because Piranha Bytes combat is just fuck. And it's a different game, of course. This is an action-adventure game, and Piranha Bytes games are RPGs primarily, so it's difficult to compare the two. It's not fair towards, and especially with the budget and all that, it's not fair comparing those two. Doesn't speak volumes of Ubisoft, right? But yeah, but they have, Piranha Bytes also has the potential, but god damn man, that combat is so fucking bad. I mean, so bad it makes me cry right now thinking about playing those games. Hey, Lost. If Team Ninja fucks up Rise of the Ronin, they should just hire themselves out to other companies to make combat. That's what I said earlier during Stranger of Paradise. Other companies need to start hiring Team Ninja. I swear. Because they're so good at that.
A malignant will is placed upon this, just like the one we found earlier.
Curse of a spell, eh?
See you, Foxy.
Could help us with this.
Thanks for joining. It is mind-blowing how difficult it is to find common sense direct people like you. And like you bastards as well. And like you as well. It's not easy. I mean, we really do have good discussions here and I like it. We don't have to agree. Actually, I like when we disagree, when I learn something new. And only through disagreement you can learn something new and think a bit differently. Otherwise you can't. We can't just keep praising ourselves and, it's good what you said, it's good what you said. No, tell me when I'm wrong. I like to hear more when I'm wrong than when I'm right. I might get emotional about it, but I will admit it. I always like to admit when I'm wrong. It's fine. And about Team Ninja, what we were talking about, people just don't... the comments on that Team Ninja video that I did. That is the last chance for Team Ninja. In the first sentence of that video, I said this is their last chance for me. And so many people didn't even, I guess, listen to even the first sentence in its full. What is this? Oh, that's cool.
Shite, that seeker. Witch.
And they say, someone said, what am I smoking, that they don't have good New Game Plus and all that. They don't. Now someone said, granted, someone got me. Good. They said that that the end game of Neo 2 is far better than end game of Neo 1. I did not know that because I never got to the end game, meaning the last part of it, the underworld, whatever it is. I just decided to ditch the New Game Plus system and didn't have any more will to play because I knew what was coming. Neo 1 endgame was mediocre. It wasn't bad, but it was mediocre. So they got me there because I did not play it. So it's hard to comment on something that you did not play. But in my defense, having to go through New Game Plus, New Game Plus, plus New Game Plus, plus, plus to get to the underworlds and things, not gonna do it anymore. And that's bigger issue for the game itself than anything else. But supposedly they did a better job with the end game of Neo 2. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad they did a better job, although I can't judge it because I haven't played it. But yeah, people seem to have some kind of a cult following with that developer. And
who died for her novice.
oh, he's a seeker who saved us.
The witch's novice.
Oh, there, Antea.
People think that if I say something bad about a company that they automatically suck. No, they don't. And one guy told me that he enjoyed so much story of Neo 1 and 2. I was like, what the fuck, man? I wanted to... I don't want to respond to these comments anymore because it's just, you know, it's sometimes it's a waste of time and you really can't. I don't have enough time to do all of these, and typing comments really takes a long time. So, but when you hear such things, you just, well, I mean, think that you can. That's what I'm saying. You can enjoy bad things, mediocre things. It's fine. There isn't a game in this world that someone is not gonna enjoy. Even if it is one person, even if you give the Golem to, you will find probably one person in this whole world that's gonna enjoy the game.
You look like you need a moment. Can we help?
But
Thought you'd never ask. Some of my spirit chasers went out. That's how Old Soul crossed the hem.
The hem.
The hem.
we need
When the fabric of the
TGS
living world meets that of the dead.
bastards community. I don't know what TGS is.
The veil between the visible and the invisible.
Whatever soothes your soul, Banisher.
Rest. Heal. Tell us how to fix the spirit chasers.
The spell is cast. You need only light them.
Yeah, facts, not feelings, even if I don't like it. Even though facts are also very subjective at times, but
I'll sit down now.
but yeah,
Good luck.
in general, that's correct. Aha, you mean to stream? Yeah, multiplayer games are not for me, mate. Helldivers might be amazing, but I really do not like playing with other people.
So, how do we do this?
We light the spirit chasers with flint and steel, I guess. I think.
I tried playing Divinity Original Sin, and it was a nightmare to create all of that, then to depend on other people on the streams. I remember those streams on Twitch. Don't get me wrong, they were fun, but the gameplay itself, playing was fucking annoying me to hell and back. Everyone does their own thing, and it's just, I'm not the type of player. Just not for me, it's fine. For some people it is, for some it isn't. What are we looking at here? The soldier. What is the soldier? So these are some kind of things that don't really matter. Just think of the discussions we could have though. I agree, it could be, but Helldivers is more of a game to play in co-op and with other people on stream than Divinity, to be honest. But it's just not my thing, mate. It's a completely subjective thing. I don't like playing multiplayer games, period. Doesn't matter which game it is. The last one that I played was For Honor. And that's one of the games that I think its combat system should be implemented in some kind of a single player game, because I think it has an amazing combat system, to be honest. One of the best that I've seen, especially when it comes to movements. I don't know how it changed over time, but I played it on the release date. Some of the best I've seen. Playing casual game, nah, mate. It's just the thing that I'm all for complex games. I mean, I've played Dota 2 for years and I was good at it, but it just doesn't interest me anymore. Hey, Jason. The multiplayer aspect, it's not the game that doesn't interest me, it's the multiplayer aspect. If Helldivers 2 was a single player focused game, I'd give it a go, most likely. But it's just the multiplayer part of it. Nothing to do with you guys. That is my problem. Sometimes I do fail to mention that all my reviews are single player focused, meaning that, for example, like Rogue Trader, I don't know if I mentioned it's a single player game. I think I did, that it's a single player review, that I didn't play in co-op. But if I don't mention it, always know that I played the game in a single player mode throughout.
Who's that?
Yes.
Though I would like to get into Helldivers 2 just to see the monetization system, to do a video about it, because I think they are screwing people over with a little bit deeper, how to put it, deeper scam. But I can't be sure until I played it.
Did you feel that?
It's close.
Now that you have a few days playing this, would you recommend? Yes. Yes. Especially if you like good storytelling and
Clear a path for you.
nice decisions. Nice decision making. Yeah, definitely. Now, but you gotta bear with combat. Combat is not bad.
After being startled by a whisk.
It's alright. It's decent to mediocre to decent. But I can't call it bad. I think Vampire, as far as I remember, had worse combat than this. But I did not play that game much because of the combat. So at least this one I went further thanks to the game itself. So I guess that makes this game a bit better than Vampire, at least in terms of combat.
Spectre, going for a meat suit.
There's more of them.
Using rifle is fun. But then again, usually ranged combat is much better done in games than melee combat. Melee combat is the problematic thing.
There, our first spirit chaser.
King Arthur CRPG. What? What is that? The only King Arthur I know is from Neocore.
He really doesn't like.
And that game is alright, nothing spectacular. I actually covered it through promotion. Couple of. Yeah, you play as that guy. Yeah, but that game is out for a long time now. I understand, Callum, but I have a different version on that. But as I said, I can't talk about it before playing the game, and I don't want to get into the discussion because I don't have the knowledge. You have more knowledge about the topic. I would need to play the game to know if I'm right, even, you know. Mordred, you play as Mordred. But yeah, that game is out on Steam unless for a long time. Unless I'm missing something. Upcoming games. Let's see. I'm interested now. Maybe it's something that I completely missed. But definitely a game that I would be able to play with one hand, which is good. Upcoming games 2024. Later this month on 22nd. I do not see any King Arthur things. I think that's the case, yeah, King Arthur. I've played it. I did a promotion for it. I think it was a month ago, something like that. Thankfully, that helped. They paid me, I don't know, 300 euros, something like that, if I'm not mistaken, which was really good thing. I rarely get those types of prices, and it helps a lot, especially when channel is not doing as well. 300 euros is a lot. But that's a rare thing to be paid. For example, Life is Feudal paid me 90 euros, and what was I also had one more that was 90, which is also good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not greedy. I appreciate that, but simply 300 is better. Right. I can't talk about these prices and how much they are paying me when I'm doing those promotional streams or anything like that. But on streams, I don't give a shit. Just ask me. You guys know how much I make. You guys know everything, basically. I don't give a shit. You do the judgment things, whatever you want. Think of it, whatever you want. But at least communicate with me before, as I'm open and honest with, for fuck's sake, with all of you. You can ask me freely whatever you want. You know what's a sad thing? That none of these promotions, well, most of the promotions actually pay off to the companies because I don't get much views anyway. I get views on specific guides or something like that and not on promotional content, so I just take the money and I give a shit. It's their problem. They didn't do the research properly. That's why I can do Raid Shadow Legends and things like that when they come with promotions, because I know they won't get any players from my channel. Even if they do, good. I don't care. But I know it's not gonna pay off for them, so that's their problem, right? Light chasers. Oh, for fuck's sake, why are you dying all the time now? Wow, today the game is running like shit. I don't know what the fuck happened. Yesterday it was running phenomenally. And about King Arthur game, I like the premise of it. And when I started controlling Mordred for the first time, it looked so cool. I don't know why, but the animations and the atmosphere and all that. But the game itself is... It wasn't good from my experience. It was decent. That's the highest I can give it from my experience, but I didn't play it all throughout. They gave me a save file to immediately level up to be able to play with new DLCs and things like that. But honestly, I wasn't that impressed with the game. I thought it was... alright.
I'll get you too.
One more to go.
A game you should look at and could play one-handed is Inkbound. Still in early access. I think you will really like the turn-based combat. Can you play it entirely single player as well? Inkbound. Let me write that down. Thank you. Appreciate it. But I think that I'm gonna stick with extreme playthrough for Rogue Trader. I really want to do another Rogue Trader playthrough because the game is so good in terms of writing. And I love the combat. But keep the suggestions coming. I'm all open. We'll see how able I will be as well. That's the thing I don't know right now. If it's gonna be even possible to play. But we'll see. I'll do my best. So now we have to light a couple of these braziers, I guess. Braziers. It's a brazier, right? The thing that you light up. Or is that bro? And brazier is a thing that you light up. No, brazier is a porn site. Alright, cheers. Is it something like Darkest Dungeon? Something like that. Right, let's make one thing. Light the Spirit Chasers. Alright, follow that. To the left.
We should light the spirit chasers.
What happens if we don't?
Spectre shit, and lots of it.
trying to find to light these things, but I'm kinda lost a little bit.
Time is on my side.
Alright, mate, I'll consider it, definitely. Thank you. Appreciate the suggestion. So the problem I had with King Arthur, something I couldn't talk about during the promotional game, during the promotion of the game, is that the missions are far too long. Some missions can be over an hour, and it's a grindy game, and it's easy to fail, and that you have to repeat the missions. So the whole system is not very well designed. I wish it was different because I love the premise, I love the setting, and it's quite atmospheric for a turn-based game. Mainly because of how the characters look. The details of characters are fantastic. I don't get it. Can we find these goddamn spirit chasers? Is that it? I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Alright, thank you. Finally. Yeah, there he is. Glad you enjoyed them, mate. I love Pillars of Eternity. I absolutely adore it. One of these days when they finish Rogue Trader, people, you should play it. I mean, I've lowered the score 2/2 because how unfinished the game is, and due to some balancing issues and things like that. Honestly, I could have lowered the score even 3 points because of all that. But that game is probably if they would patch it, and if it would be at its absolute best, I think that game is at the top of the pile when it comes to RPGs. CRPGs specifically. It's that fucking good. But it's that devastatingly unfinished at this point. But I don't recall having more fun with a CRPG, unless maybe Fallout 2, than with Rogue Trader. Even no matter how buggy it is. Then again, as I say, fun is a subjective thing. We all have different things that we like more or less, and that is fine. That's how it should be. But the game, the turn-based system, the character progression, the story, the brutality of the world, it's one of the best settings I've ever played in. It's ridiculous, really. It's ridiculous how good that game can be potentially. But will it ever reach that potential? Well, it's Owlcat Games, so
That's how witches use them.
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm glad they did it. Ending is also bad. It was definitely rushed a bit toward the end. Hey, Ryzen. Yeah, Divinity was fun turn-based game for me because of the elemental things. Light the spirit chasers. Well, didn't we just do that? No? Ah, okay. No, we didn't. Yeah, some games are just they can create fun CRPGs. It's not a problem. But problem is that fun is a subjective thing. It's really difficult to create generally a fun game. To me, Darkest Dungeon is fun, even though it's infuriating game at times and it's a problem, but it's fun. It's the challenge. I like the challenge part of it. And I love the characters. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play Rise of the Ronin. I'm awaiting operation, and if that operation comes soon, I won't be able to play anything for a long time except for turn-based games with one hand, my weaker one. And then again, there's Dragon's Dogma 2, which looks like it's gonna be much better game than the Rise of the Ronin. From the things that I've seen so far, doesn't mean it's gonna be. I don't know, but it seems like they are doing things right for Dragon's Dogma 2. Even though I should probably do a video that we should boycott Dragon's Dogma 2 because of Capcom. And just pirate it on PC. To hurt them as much as possible. Prince of Persia, the new one. Oh, that's interesting. I did not play it. Pathfinder Kingmaker is also a great turn-based game. They added turn-based later on, but it was real-time with pause at first, right? If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Pathfinder Kingmaker. I love Right of the Righteous even more than Kingmaker.
Friend would agree.
I think I'll just tell her we're done. What wasp crawled up that spectre's arse and stung him angry?
A lost battle.
I think that campaign in Right of the Righteous,
Ranks.
the story of the campaign is the most epic storyline ever in CRPGs. Not the best, but the most epic one in terms of being grandiose, in terms of being insanely cool with demons and angels and things like. It's fucking epic. And then you choose the path that changes the appearance of your character, that makes significant changes where you can be a dragon, a lich. Fucking amazing. I mean, brilliant ideas implemented very well. It's incredible. It really is. But then on the other hand, then they put in, thankfully, that you don't have to play. How the hell does a team that does such a great job in terms of everything that is difficult to get right in a CRPG, and then they create a strategic bullshit that is so bad that like some kind of an asset flip from an indie, from Steam indie games. It's baffling, really.
Did I see you talking to a crow just now?
Wait, didn't we have some kind of a chest, locked chest that I couldn't pick up? Cursed chest. You know what, let me explore a little bit this area. There's a point of interest there.
Yes and no.
Ah, alright, I missed this part. Did I? They did not give me yet an option to do these things. I don't know what this is. We get these the soldiers, but what are they? Maybe they are... Oh, we use them to open the cursed chest. Ah, alright. I think I figured it out. Yeah, there's a problem when you talk a lot on the stream and then you miss out on a lot of things that the game is trying to point at you, and you're probably face palming. What the fuck, man? Read. It's there. It's in front. Okay, key to Hummingbird's village. We've lost it, but we got the white crow. Whatever it is. White crow something. There it is. Spirit point gains an increase by 20, but melee damage dealt by red is reduced by 20. Ugh, that doesn't sound like a good trade-off. Each enemy hit by punch attack increases damage of the punch attacks by 15. This effect can be accumulated. Resets on being hit. Persistence 16, riot 8. What is persistence? Increases Antea spirit points. Antea spends attacks or when she casts manifestation, alright. Then we have Rat. Rat increases manifestation damage. Not really using that much, but I might start using it more. Increases Antea punch damage and perfect switch damage. Strength increases red melee damage. I didn't see many strength objects yet. I mean, it's a significant increase in this. Yeah, let's go with Jovian Glow. Why not? Yep, definitely. We're gonna switch to that. This is amount of spectral damage dealt by specters. Yeah, this is better. I wish more weapons would come into play. That would be good. There was a cursed chest somewhere around here that we might be able to open. By the way, the game has a decent compass, but I'm terrible at using it. Oh, this isn't Odin's crow or raven that we can kill. I don't think I was at this location. I do like the exploration more and more, to be honest.
I'll lend you my eyes if you like.
With these chests and all that, but rewards are shit for the most part. That's the problem. You need to have an incentive to explore, and in this game the only incentive seems to be to gather resources a little bit from the chests and all that. I don't find that too appealing. I think exploring for the sake of resources is not a good thing. There needs to be more equipment-based rewards for the exploration to become more significant. When I open a chest that I tried to understand what the game wants from me, that I had to solve some kind of a path or puzzle or whatever to get to it, and then I see this piece of A39 wool and bog iron. I mean, it's just, come on, give me something relevant. I mean, it is relevant, but that's the problem with the whole upgrade system of the equipment. In a game like this, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Doesn't add anything except unnecessary grind that isn't that simply isn't as valuable in a game like this, and it isn't done right. Oh, something coming? No. Okay, let's open this.
Efficient cannon powder.
I have bought Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous to play. Have heard it's good. Which of the two do you think is best? Wrath of the Righteous. If you're thinking about Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous, Wrath of the Righteous, yeah. Mythic paths and all that, it's just fantastic. Very interesting thing to do. And it has better replayability because of it. A second to see, maybe there's some kind of a thing we can shoot from here. Nope. It's just a shortcut. This is lava. 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 If you like CRPGs, there's no reason not to like Wrath of the Righteous. I mean, it's subjective in the end, but it's really difficult to get to that conclusion that someone would dislike Wrath of the Righteous if they like CRPGs. But I do suggest that you completely disable that strategic kingdom element. I don't know what it is, how they call it. You can completely disable it in options. I suggest to do that. Because it doesn't add anything to the game, it actually takes away from it. Takes valuable time that can be spent in rather learning the builds and so on. It's not a good system. They fucked that one up. But yeah, mythic pots, that what they did with that, I think more developers should pay attention. Completely changing it was a nightmare to create builds for that game because it was because of the mythic pots and all that. But god damn, for a playthrough thing, it's such an interesting design where you change your character dramatically based on the choices.
Perhaps you let me take
It's phenomenal, fucking phenomenal what they did with mythic pots. The Owlcat really know what they're doing. It's just that I think their Wrath of the Righteous was their best game on the release date. It wasn't as broken as the others. Yeah, it was also in not the best state, but it wasn't as broken as Rogue Trader or as Kingmaker. Kingmaker was a disaster on release. I mean, a fucking disaster. Even worse than Rogue Trader. Of course, they fixed it over time, but I think Wrath of the Righteous was the best one in terms of polish on the release date. Too bad that they reverted back to bad things with Rogue Trader in terms of polish. I just wish that wasn't the case, but because I think they had the gem on their hands, a truly unique experience in the CRPG world that had the potential to change a lot of things. Not change, maybe I'm now overstating things, but to give a lot of people a reason to play something like it because of the setting. Because they really did. I mean, I don't know much about the setting, but from what I can gather, they did it justice. When you get the time, I suggest to have anyone that they play Wrath of the Righteous. I'm telling you, the campaign is insane. How epic it is. The most epic storyline I've ever witnessed. And the fact that you can choose those mystic pots and they can drastically affect everything afterwards, the replayability you get through that. Because there are what, 5, 6 mythic pots? I forgot. I mean, you can play as a goddamn lich, gold dragon, angel, and it changes your appearance as well next to it, which is an important factor. It's not just an armor change or anything like that. Yeah, very, very good design.
Come, let me show you the way.
And I think they also added turn-based and... Was it turn-based or did they add real-time with pause? I think they started with real-time with pause, if I'm not mistaken, and added turn-based. Or maybe they did have it at the beginning. Maybe they did have both at the beginning. But I know that Pathfinder added one type of combat later. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe they also had both at start. My memory. Either way, I think they have both ways of playing the game, and
Would you mind?
Of course not.
it's really good. It's really good that they have both, because I love to play with turn-based to maximize efficiency and then switch when I see that I'm winning the combat, switch into real-time with pause to finish off things quickly so that we don't waste time. I think that's really good. Good thing you can do with real-time with pause and turn-based combination. As I'm strutting around and not knowing where to go. Well, mate, as you've seen in the latest video that I did, I think that Dark Age of CRPGs is coming again. People will say there are a couple of them coming. Yeah, those are irrelevant CRPGs, alright? There are more relevant ones that are much more beneficial for the genre itself. Specifically when I'm talking about CRPGs, not RPGs. RPGs, what people consider RPG these days is a different thing altogether, but CRPGs in terms of isometric character progression and story-based, team-based RPGs, I don't think we're gonna see any relevant ones in next 3 or 4 years. So I think we are now entering the dark age, which was around 2010 as well. I'm gonna do a video on that eventually too. That was actually the first dark age of CRPGs. There was nothing for 4 years, except for maybe Spiderweb Software or some smaller games like Avernum. That's not really the quality of the big ones. I wish there was a resurgence, but I think we had the best time that we could have with CRPGs for last 10 years. The golden era when it comes to modern CRPGs was from 2014 to 2018. We had Wasteland 2 releasing, we had Pillars of Eternity, Divinity Original Sin, and up to 2018 when Owlcat started, released Pathfinder Kingmaker, and then after that we only had 3 major CRPGs. 2 were from Owlcat, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous and Rogue Trader, and one third one was from Larian. We had also Disco Elysium, which was a phenomenal game for people that like more narrative-based CRPGs. But from the big boys, we only in from 2018, well, let's say 2019, because CRPGs are played throughout the year when you buy them, and they are effective for a long time in terms of time investment. So let's say 2019 to 2024 we had 3 CRPGs, which is not bad at all. I think that's good, but it's not great. It's not golden era. Golden era was from 2014 to 2018, next to full of 1990s and early 2000s. That was truly phenomenal. But we don't need to have many CRPGs. That's not necessary. But we might be coming into the dark age where we don't see anything for a long time. Because Larian won't be releasing anything anytime soon, except the expansions, but I don't count expansions as new games, because they are not. Then we have Obsidian that is working on Avowed. That's their focus. Then we have Clockwork Revolution from In Exile. That is going to be released probably in 2024, maybe in 2025. And then we have what was Owlcat just released Rogue Trader that they're going to be fixing for a couple of years. It's just not realistic to expect anything anytime soon. Anything big, anything that would really make people, whoa, this is the shit. This is the CRPG we need to play. On a personal note, I enjoyed Rogue Trader much more than I did Baldur's Gate 3. But that's a subjective thing. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is far more polished game, far more completed game. But I didn't really enjoy the game as much as I thought I would. Which is a subjective thing, of course. Not because of the wokeness or anything like that. It didn't bother me that much. Didn't affect my enjoyment whatsoever. But in terms of combat, just combat was great, don't get me wrong, but like, it wasn't exciting. While Rogue Trader made it fucking exciting. I love combat in Rogue Trader. I absolutely adore it. Now, see the compass there, it shows something that I'm probably supposed to go up, right? Okay. Ah, it's actually showing a good thing. Just the way Rogue Trader combat works, the strategic elements of it. I don't know, man, it's something else. Then you have classes like a Grand Strategist. It does something to me. That combat did something to me. And I still don't know how to open this. Let's see. Reward equipment. Okay. How the hell did I miss that? There's a lot of exploration here to be done. I might have to delve into that a little bit more, but maybe I'll do that off the stream. And the hunting cases. Let's report back to Seeker for now, see what she says. And then we'll go back to the... Well, actually, then I'm gonna have to conclude the stream because it's a Valentine's Day. I gotta go to lunch with my girl, so... But I'll be streaming again tonight. I need to beat this as soon as possible. I'm really progressing slowly. I don't mind that. I don't like to rush games. I like to enjoy games. And this is a game that you can enjoy more slowly. You don't need to constantly rush things. It's not an ADD game, as I call them. As I call the modern ones.
All ready to go then? Good. She's waiting for you.
And I got the message. To start getting ready.
Go where? To see your mistress?
Ceridian, yes. In a boat. It'll be fun.
No, we're going to New Eden.
The nightmare's grip on the world is too strong. The fog is too thick. You cannot enter its stronghold. There's no way back to the meeting house. Not yet. And not without help.
We've done fine on our own so far.
You're dead. Maybe you're not doing quite as well as you think.
You're blunt, but I take your point. We'll talk to Ceridian before we move on.
That's better.
Thanks, Callum, mate. I'll be streaming tonight if you got some time. Or these days, I'll be streaming this game a lot. So, jump on. I always love to see all of you bastards here. Always a good chat. Always. Never fails. Makes streaming a lot more enjoyable.
Have we far to go?
How far is far? Don't worry. You'll be safe.
Safe?
The mire is home to many angry spirits. But my mistress keeps them quiet. Dead quiet.
Alright, I'm gonna conclude the stream here. Thank you all for watching and see you tonight. If you're on, these streams are gonna be uploaded to the channel so you can always check them out.